Good morning, students. Today we are starting off with a new chapter called as Plant Kingdom. So, coming to the first part is the system of classification. Now, coming to the system of classification, we have a different type of classification based on the particular system. Artificial system, okay? First one is your artificial system. Moving ahead, you have something called as a natural system. The third one is nothing but your phylogenetic system. The next one followed by a numerical system, cytotaxonomy and chemotaxonomy. All these are your particular system of classification. I repeat, artificial, natural, phylogenetic, numerical, cytotaxonomy and chemotaxonomy. Now, let's start up with one by one, okay? First one is your artificial system. Sweethearts, when I say artificial system, it is developed by a person, scientist named Linnaeus, Carolus Linnaeus. Okay. Now, if at all you look at the system, what is it actually depending on? It is depending on your morphological characteristics. When we say morphological, that means to say your physical appearance or the external appearance. What are those? It's your habit, color, and shape. Usually, the artificial system is based on all these habit, color, and shape. Okay, now moving ahead, not only the morphological, it is also depending on your vegetative characteristics. Example is your structural rhizome, that's your male reproductive structure of a particular flower. Okay, now vegetative characteristic can be easily influenced by the environmental characteristics. Mean to say, what is a basic disadvantage of an artificial system is that, see, usually the physical appearance, your vegetative characteristics can be influenced by environment. Male bantu, ad bantu, idu bantu. What will happen? Definitely the color or the shape definitely will be influenced. Hence, this system was actually not preferable. Okay, so this system had a main disadvantage that a vegetative characteristic was easily influenced by your environmental characters or the particular environmental conditions. Okay, moving on to the next system is your natural system. Now, when I say natural system, this was developed by your George Bentham and Joseph Dalton and Hooker. Okay, so this system was basically depending on the internal and external. When we say external, as usual, it is the physical appearance, that's your color, shape, and all those things. Internal depends upon your particular what is the androgen taste or how is the tissues assigned. Everything depends upon your internal features. Okay, now moving on to the next particular system, that's your phylogenetic system. Now, according to phylogenetic system, so children, when we use this word phylogenetic, that means to say the term is speaking about the evolution. Mean to say, here we speak about the evolutionary relationship between the various organisms. Okay, example now ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕೋತಿಗಳಿಂದ ಬಂದ್ವಿ ಅಂದ್ವಿ, yes or no? So we come from the particular what to say, the early man. That's what we usually speak. So again, it's an evolutionary relationship, darlings. Okay, so who developed it? It was the Engler and Prandtl who developed it. They spoke that yes, it is the evolution which plays a very important role. Okay, so one organism is connected to another organism. So that's what your particular phylogenetic system says. I'm sure you would have even seen this particular movie called as Ice Age, where you have a mammoth present over there. Okay, that mammoth was actually resembling the elephant. So that's your particular evolutionary relationship. But now we are speaking with respect to the plants. So in the plants, evolutionary relationship between the organism plays. Who said it? Engler and Prandtl. Okay, now makla, moving on to the next particular thing, numerical system. When we speak about the numerical system, this was based on the observational characteristics. Mean to say, how many leaves are there, how many flowers are there. Depending on all these things, we classify them as the observational characteristics. And not only that, whatever you observe, you will actually write it in your particular data. The data will be entered in the computer. Okay, now who actually developed it? R. Sokal and Peter and A.H.A. Smith. Okay, so these are the people who actually introduce your numerical system. Now, moving ahead, sweethearts. Cytotaxonomy. Now, when we say speak about the cytotaxonomy, that is preferably depending upon the chromosome. Mean to say what? The number of the chromosome, structure, and the behavior. So, depending on all these things, your chromosomes have been classified. Moving on to the next one. So, it based on your cytological information. And children, here the cytotaxonomy, they have too many people. So, among that, the main one was your Levin et al. Et al. And all of them. Along with Levin, you have the rest of the people also. Autonomous, the other people, including with him, the co-workers. Okay, so he was the person who developed it. Moving on to the next particular thing is your chemotaxonomy. Now, coming to your chemotaxonomy, this system is based on your chemical constituents. What is the proteins? Okay, what about the proteins, or what about the particular carbohydrates, or what about the particular enzymes present, hormones present? So all these things depends upon the particular chemical constituent. Even over here, chemotaxonomy, you have a main person, you have many other, but the Kenyon was a main person who actually proposed it. Okay, now moving on to the next one. Let's start off with the particular plant kingdoms. Okay, the first one we'll start about with, yeah, algae, the primitive one. Okay, now children, they have a presence of a chlorophyll. Okay, and a simple thalloid. Ma'am, ಏನು thalloid ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? They usually have your particular plant body like this. Okay, the thallus. Am I clear to you? So we usually call this as a simple thalloid structure. See, we people have a complex organ body. Okay, but whereas algae will have a simple structures like this. So these things can also be called as your thalloids. Okay, now they are autotrophic, as you all know. They can prepare their own food. Okay, now where do they present habitat? So moist, they usually require the moist condition. Why, Sweetheart? Because the reproduction mainly depends upon the water. So moist stone soils and the wood, wherever there is a water conditions more, so we usually tend to find the algae more over there. Ellel neer ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೋ, we see the algae over there. ಆಯ್ತಾ ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ? Moving on to the next one. Whenever the algae is associated with the fungi, we call it as a lichens. Okay, and you all know that you have already studied lichens are the particular pollution indicator. Yes or no, children? They are the pollution indicator. Why? If at all you have more pollution, you do not see the lichens over there. But where there is a pollution less, okay, mean to say pollution el kammi iruto, you see lichens over there. Okay, wherever the pollution is more, you don't see. Wherever the pollution is less, you do find them. Moving on to the next one. They vary in the size. ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪಿಕ್ ಇಂದ ಯೂನಿಸೆಲ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಇಂದ colonial till filamentous and marine form. So they vary in the size. That's your microscopic. Unicellular example is Chlamydomonas, colonial, filamentous, and the marine form. You have all the forms present in the algae. Moving on to the next one. Reproduction. Now children, in the algae, the reproduction is of various types. The three types: isogamous, anisogamous, and oogamous. You have already seen. Isogamous means what? The fusion gametes are similar in the size. Am I clear? To mean to say, you cannot make out which is a male and which is the female. I'm sure you would have studied about the Chlamydomonas. Okay, one of the species where they look exactly similar. You cannot make out which is male and which is female. Okay, now anisogamous, the fusion two gametes are dissimilar in size. Again, it is a Chlamydomonas, but the different species. Mean to say, probably most of the times female will be a little larger, whereas the male will be a little smaller. Okay, moving on to the oogamous. This is a particular fusion between one large non-motile with a smaller motile. Usually, children, here oogamous represents with the female gamete being a larger one, okay, and the male gamete being a smaller one. And here, this will be non-motile, whereas the sperm will be motile. So the female will have a non-motile gamete and the male will have a motile gamete. Okay, children. So this is an example. Whatever I've written on the particular shade is nothing. A board is nothing but your human, and of course you also have your fucus, where it will be the sperms will be like this. Okay, moving on to the next one. Benefits of algae. Sweetheart, you have lots of benefits in the algae. Okay, first one is, since this is photosynthesizes, it fix the carbon dioxide. And remember, always this question will be asked: which of among the following will have a highest carbon dioxide fixation? Always it is algae. Okay, usually you'll be asked this question. Always it is an algae, because they cover up more amount of the percentage. Okay, so algae fixes the more amount of the carbon dioxide present on the earth. And of course, since it is usually present in the water, it increases your particular dissolved oxygen. So dissolved oxygen will be more. Now, point over here, sweethearts, if algae reproduces more than whatever is required, okay, now it will lead to the particular eutrophication. What it will lead to? It will lead to your eutrophication. Okay, so they are the primary producers and form the basis of the food cycle. So they are the phototrophic. They start up the food cycle. Now marine algae is used as a food. Which and all are used as a food? Porifera, Laminaria, and Sargassum. Okay, and agar, of course, is obtained from your algae called as Gelidium and Gracilaria, used in ice creams. Some of the marine brown red alga is produced for hydrocolloids. Okay, hydrocolloids ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೆಲ್ಲಿ ತರ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ, ಆ ರೀತಿ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ you will be producing the hydrocolloids of algae. Example is your algin, that's your brown algae, and carrageenan is your red alga. Okay, now protein rich unicellular algae like chlorella and spirulina are used as a food supplement. Okay, so usually spirulina and chlorella are very rich in the protein, so they are used in the particular nutrient supply, especially for the diabetic people. Okay, now whatever you're looking at the particular screen, so that's this is the particular powder form. So here you are getting in a, you know, the sargassum in a raw manner. Okay, sometimes you also use it in a particular juices or something like that. Okay, moving on to the next one is your algae is classified into the three types and they are classified depending on the color: chlorophyceae, phaeophyceae, and rhodophyceae. Okay, which are those? Chlorophyceae, phaeophyceae, and rhodophyceae. Now moving on to the next one, one each. Now, first one is your chlorophyceae. Since they are green in color, they are called as a green alga. Hence, the name is derived called as a chlorophyceae because they are chlorophyll. Now, children, they are usually coming to the form. How are they looking? They are looking like a unicellular, colonial, and filamentous. Okay. Moving on to the next one. They have a major particular pigment, that's your chlorophyll A and B. Okay, now chloroplast may be like, okay, now chlorophyll, whatever I told you, how is the shape of the chloroplast? Okay, now chloroplast will be usually a plate like, discoid, reticulate, cup shaped, or ribbon like. Am I clear to you? Plate is your normal plate. Discoid means it's somewhat like a disc. Slow. Okay. Okay, so then usually the chloroplast may be like a plate like, okay, discoid, that is your disc shape. Next one is your reticulate, okay, cup shaped, and the ribbon like. So all these are the different types of a particular forms of the chloroplast. Now they have a storing bodies called as your pyrenoids. In makla, pyrenoids. So pyrenoids are usually storing bodies of a particular chlorophyceae. Okay, now some algae has a store of oil droplets, mean to say not only they are storing the particular food, they also store your oil droplets. Okay, moving on to the next one. They have a rigid cell wall which is made up of your cellulose and pectose. So cell wall is usually made up of your cellulose and pectose. Okay, example, Chlamydomonas, Volvox. Okay, next one, Eulothrix, Spirogyra, and Cara. So all these are the examples for your particular chlorophyceae. In makla, Chlamydomonas, Volvox, Eulothrix, Spirogyra, and Cara. Next one, reproduction. Same thing, children. Don't forget all these things. This is common for everything. Okay. So vegetative, it is through fragmentation and production of the spores. Fragmentation and small bits, and each one will grow into a new organism. Okay. Next one is your production of the spores. Next one, asexual is through zoospores in zoosporangia. Nodirbodu ee reeti irutte makla zoospores. So this is a cup shaped structure where you will have your zoospores produced. Okay, so this is your zoosporangia and this is your zoospores. Next one, sexual reproduction, as I already told you, isogamous, anisogamous, and oogamous. Okay, so this is the particular chlorophyceae. Next one, see children, this is your Volvox, this is your Cara. Okay, this is your Cara. Moving on to the next particular thing, children, what is it? Phaeophyceae. Okay, now coming to the Phaeophyceae, that's your brown algae. Now, since they are in a brown in color, usually, as usual, they are marine in habitats. Okay, now they show variation of the size from Ectocarpus. Ectocarpus is one of the largest particular algae. Okay, they have chlorophyll A, C, carotenoids, fucoxanthin, and xanthophyll. Ivella enu makle the pigments which is usually present. Amale the color will vary from the olive green to brown in color. Okay, usually the color varies from olive green to brown in color. Moving on to the next one, the food is stored in the form of carbohydrates. Now, what is that complex form? Laminarian and mannitol. Enu laminarian and mannitol andre, they are nothing but your complex carbohydrates. Okay, next one, the cellulosic cell wall is covered by a coating of algin. Algin cell wall, it is made up of something called as your algin. Okay, now Plant body consists of a holdfast, stalk, and a photosynthetic organ. See, holdfast is something like this. They hold on to a substratum. Substratum andre ivaga on kallu irutte. Okay, so for that they will hold on to it, and they will have a stalk like this. Okay, and a photosynthetic organ. Okay, children. So that is how the plant body is usually present. Example as the thing: Ectocarpus, Dicta, Laminaria, Sargassum, and your fucus. Okay, again the reproduction is fragmentation, zoospores. Sexual is your isogamous, anisogamous, and your oogamous. So all these are the important points. Okay, Ectocarpus, Dictyota, Laminaria, Sargassum, and fucus. Remember this. Okay. See, this is your algin and this is your brown alga. This is what I was speaking about, children. See, this is the hold fast. Okay, and this is this type what they have, and this is the particular photosynthetic organ. Am I clear to you? So we usually call it as a frond. Now remember the names. This is nothing but your laminaria. This is nothing but your fucus, and the last one is dictyota. Okay, so they have this dichotomous particular what to say, the branching. Okay, two ಆಗಿ branch ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, hence the name dictyota. Okay, so laminaria, fucus, and your dictyota. Moving on to the next one is your rhodophyceae. Okay, now coming to your rhodophyceae, they are usually called as your red algae. Okay, they have a red pigment called as your phycoerythrin. And of course, they are all your marine forms, and that's the oceans. Okay, they occur both on the surface and great depths. What do you mean by this? Even on the surface, you can see them, or as you go deeper and deeper into the ocean, also you can see them. Okay, so that's your rhodophyceae. Now, the food is stored is your Floridian starch here. There it was mannitol and laminaria. Okay, but here what is it, sweetheart? It's nothing but your Floridian starch. Now coming to the reproduction, it is vegetative, asexual, and sexual. Vegetative as usual fragmentation, asexual is your non-motile spores. Here sexual is only oogamous. Okay, so that is the particular oogamous. Next one, example is your Polysiphonia, Porifera, Gracilaria, and Gelidium. These are the examples for your red algae. Enenu makle? Polysiphonia, Porifera, Gracilaria, and Gelidium. Remember PPGG. Okay, so that's about your red algae. This is your Gelidium. See, since they're appearing like a reddish in color, hence the name rhodophyceae. Okay, now this one is Gelidium. This is your Porifera. That's your Gracilaria. See, it's bright red. Now, this is the overall summing up of the particular thing. Okay, now here what I would like to concentrate. See, I'll just go on with one by one. Chlorophyceae, common name green alga. Major pigment is A and B. Children, one wrong is over here. This is A and D, not A and B. Okay, now this is A and B chlorophyceae. Stored food is starch. Cell wall is cellulose. 2-8 equal and apical flagella they have. Fresh water, salt water, brackish water. Brackish water is too salty. Okay, now this is what is the particular entire characteristic of the chlorophyceae. Talal itkolra, stored food is starch makla, and the cell wall is cellulose. Okay, next one, 2 to 8 equal apical. Apical andre eno tippal irutte. Am I clear to you? Next one, Phaeophyceae makle, brown algae. Chlorophyceae A and C and fucoxanthin. Stored food is mammalian. Remember that. Okay, here cellulose and algin. 2 unequal lateral. Okay, lateral means side. Next one, fresh water, it is salt, and the brackish water same thing irutte kandra. Okay na, but yen difference andre in Phaeophyceae the fresh water is very rare. Okay, next one, rhodophyceae, red alga. Chlorophyll A and D, phycoerythrin, Floridian starch, cellulose is the cell wall. They do not have a particular flagella, so it is absent. Fresh water are only few. Salt water are most of them, and brackish water. Okay, so this is the entire thing of the particular characteristic of all the three algae. That is your Chlorophyceae, Phaeophyceae, and rhodophyceae. Okay, makle talal itkolra. Stored food starch, mannitol and laminarian for Pheo. Rhodo is your Floridian starch. Okay, so cellulose is common for all the three. Only thing is algin is extra for Phaeophyceae, and chlorophyll A is common for everything. Okay, but this is B, C, and D. Angnapuskole B, C, D. Okay, so this is fucoxanthin and phycoerythrin. Okay. Next one is your bryophytes. Okay, bryophytes usually occur in damp, humid, and shady areas. Again, children. So bryophytes are usually damp and humid, means they require water. And remember one more thing: they can ask you a question over here, which is the first land invading particular organism ಅಂತ sorry, plant ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. So the first land invading, who actually was the first organism to come onto the land, they are usually none other than your bryophytes. And of course, they are the amphibians of the plant kingdom, because why? They do require water and the particular terrestrial land. So they live both on the land as well as the water, hence they are called as your amphibians of the plant kingdom. And they require water for what? For the reproduction. Now, they can live soil but depend on the water for sexual reproduction. Okay, now plant body, as I told you, it is thallus. They are attached to the substratum, unicellular or multicellular, single cell ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ cells ಇರುತ್ತೆ, and they have rhizoids but they lack roots. Mean to say, if this is your thallus, okay, so they have a root kind of a structures present, but these are not actually the roots, but they do the functions of the root. Okay, hence they are called as your rhizoids. Okay, children, now moving on to the next particular thing, the main plant body is haploid gametophyte, which is a photosynthetic. Am I clear to you? ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ರೋ, usually gametophyte will be haploid, sporophyte will be diploid, no matter what, whether it is bryophyte, pteridophyte, or anything else. Always remember this: your gametophyte be haploid, your sporophyte will be diploid. Remember this particular rule, okay, which is photosynthetic. Now, vegetative reproduction is through fragmentation, asexual is through gemma. I'll show you how is the picture gemma looks, but right now you just see a superficial diagram. This is how the gemma cup will be on your particular thallus. Okay, so they'll have a buds inside, internal buds. So the buds will be produced outside, and each bud, okay, will germinate and give rise to a thallus like this. Am I clear to you? So they germinate and give rise to another thallus. So sexual is through a haploid gametes. As usual, the gametes will fuse and they give rise to a new organism. Okay, children, so this is about your bryophytes. So keep it in your, remember what is it? The main plant body is your gametophyte, which is haploid. Mainike na main anta karitivi because it is photosynthetic and it is a dominant. Andre gametophyte will have your largest particular what to say, the life cycle, and it does not depend on anything. See, this is examples are Markantia. See, children, so this is your thallus. Okay, this is your thallus. Now I want you to look at this very clearly. First one is your antheridiophones. Antheridiophones andre en makle, they are male. Okay, now how do you differ with antheridiophones and archegoniophores? Look at these structures. Okay, you don't have any dissection. Dissection and the iriti illa nimge. Am I clear to you? They're somewhat like this, together like an umbrella. Am I clear to you? So these are your male structures. What are these called as? Antheridiophones. Now, can you see this green structures over here? Grass tara ideyala makle. Now, these are all your gametophytes. What are they called as? Gametophyte. Now, this hook structure which has come out. Okay. Now, this is your sporophyte. Okay. So, what is this? This entire grass, whatever you're seeing, is nothing but your gametophyte. Now I have written sporophyte, but you should know what am I actually seeking. See, this is the sporophyte. This structure is the sporophytes. Am I clear to you? So basically, gametophyte is a grass-like a structure. Sporophyte will arise like this. Am I clear to you? So this is your sporophyte and this is your gametophyte. Atendro, this is what makle? This is nothing but your sporophyte. Idendro, idu gametophyte. So the phyte depends upon the gametophyte. Moving on to the next one, makla, alternation of generation seen in your bryophytes. Now, gametophyte bears a sex organ that produces gametes. Okay, the male sex organ is called as your antheridium, which produces your antherozoids. Okay, children. So you have something called as your antheridia, which produces your particular sperms. Am I clear to you? Now, moving on to the next one. You have a female structure called as archegonium. So archegonium, what it will contain inside it? It will contain an egg inside it. Okay. So now what happens? The sperm, that is your antherozoid, will swim. Okay, will swim over. If this is your archegonium, see over here, hinge irutte. So inside you will have your particular egg. Okay, so sperms will take an entry and fuse with an egg. Am I clear to you? So antherozoid comes in contact with archegonium and fuses with the egg to form what? Zygote. So for the sperm to move in, am I clear to you? For the sperm to move in, you require the water medium. Remember that. That's why they require the water. Now, zygote develops into a multicellular sporophyte. What they will develop into? They develop into the sporophyte, which remains parasitic on the female gametophyte. That is what I told you. Hingiರುತ್ತೆ gametophyte. Upon you will have a sporophyte present. So they will be always attached to your gametophyte. Am I clear to you? Now moving on to the next particular thing. What is it? Sporophyte. Now, sporophyte will have foot, seta, and capsule. This will be, children, see here. ಇದನ್ನ foot ಅಂತೀವಿ. This is the particular seta and this is your capsule. Okay, now don't worry if you have not understood. In the next picture I'll show you with the diagram. Okay, now capsule will undergoes meiotic division to give rise to your haploid spores. So the spores in it will come out. Okay, so this will undergo what? Meiotic division. That is your haploid spores are formed. Yake ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ sporophyte is what? Always your diploid. Now I want haploid structure, so it will undergo meiotic division. So haploid spores on germ give rise to your haploid gametophyte. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಇದಾದ್ರೂ. Now listen up, see here, gametophyte ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ. Okay, what is this? This is haploid. Okay, now your gametophyte will have both antheridia and archegonia in it. Okay, now antheridia will produce what? Sperm. Archegonia will contain what? Egg. Okay, now these two will fuse. Okay, when these two fuses, what you will get? You will get something called as zygote. Correct. Now zygote will develop into sporophyte. Moral of the story, this was haploid. Okay, sperm is haploid, egg is haploid. When they fuse, what will happen? Diploid. So zygote was what? Diploid. Now sporophyte, henceforth it is diploid. Now the sporophyte, inside the sporophyte you will have something called as a spores present like this. Now see, immediately spore is haploid over here, but illenagittu? Diploid. Diploid body should give rise to diploid. How is it you're getting haploid? Because it is undergoing your reductional division. Am I clear to you? What is it undergoing? Reductional division. That's nothing but your meiotic division. Since it underwent your meiotic division, you're getting your haploid spores. Okay, now this haploid spores is producing your gametophyte. This is the life cycle. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, gametophyte is haploid. Haploid ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಯ್ತು? You had antheridia and archegonia. Sperm and an egg was formed. So both of them fused to form your diploid zygote. Now zygote, which is diploid, gave rise to the sporophyte. See, sporophyte is all, it growing on to your gametophyte. Now sporophyte, which is diploid, from the capsule it is producing spores. But spores ಏನಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು? Diploid ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. But it is not diploid. Instead it is haploid because it underwent meiotic division. Now the spores is the one which is giving rise to the gametophyte. Same thing over here. Okay, what is it, children? Gametophyte. Gametogenesis means formation of your sperm and an egg. See, zygote, sporophyte, which is 2n. It is undergoing process to give rise to your haploid spores, and finally you're getting your gametophyte. So this particular life cycle it has. Okay, haplodiplontic. Moving on to the next one. The same thing, this is, in order to make it very clear, I just showed you. See, ಈ diagram ಮಾತ್ರ ನೋಡ್ರೋ, this is your gametophyte ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ. gametophyte ಒಳಗಡೆ sporophyte ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ foot, this is where you have a foot, this is where you have your seed stalk, and this is where you have your particular capsule. Okay, so this is how the gametophyte, see, the spores are produced. So spores will germinate like this. Okay, and finally give rise to a gametophyte like this. See, this is your antherium. Can you see the sperms moving and reaching inside your archegonium egg, and zygote is formed? Clear? So this is the entire picture how it looks like. Yes, this is what is the diagram. What to say? Spotters tara. So identify the following. So this will be your gametophyte, sporophyte. Here you will have foot, seta, and a capsule. Moving on to the next one of your algae, that's your classification, liverworts and your mosses. Okay, so among your particular liverworts, plant body is thalloid, dorsiventral, flattened, and upwards to the substrate. Now, again, asexual reproduction, fragmentation, and the formation of a gemme, which are green in color, asexual buds which are developed into gemme cups. I'll tell you, they usually have a particular gemme cups. This remember. Okay, next one, and gemme cups are usually present on the liverworts. That's a characteristic. And sexual reproduction is oogamous. Zygote is developed into sporophyte. Sporophyte is developed into seta and a capsule. So spores within the capsule, same thing, whatever I told you, the same thing is over here. Okay, now this is the entire thing. See children, your archegoniophores, see, can you see this? It is like a dissected, but here it is like an umbrella type. So these are your demecups. So this is where your particular vegetative reproduction takes place. So it is a male thallus and your female thallus. So there are heterothallus in this condition. This is your archegoniophores. Okay, can you see? They'll be like a branches kind of a thing. Mean to say they're branched and dissected. So this is how they usually look like. This is your antheridiophores, which I already shown you. Now, these are your gemma cups. See, this is where your cups are there, and here you have a buds present. You can see it very clearly. Okay, these are your buds which will develop into each thallus. This is how it literally looks like. Okay, these are the cups, and these are your particular buds which is present inside. Next one, mosses. The next one is also called as bryopsida. Liverworts grow horizontally, whereas mosses grow vertically upward. Okay. Now there are two stages, protonema and the leafy stage. Now protonema stage develops from the spore, as I already shown you that time. Spore developed into the leafy like a kind of a structure, that's called as your particular protonema. It is creeping green and branched filament structures. Initially they'll creep like this. Later they will develop into a vertical sections. Okay. Next one, leaf stage develops into protonemal stage, lateral into bud. Okay, now the leaves are arranged spirally. Okay, they usually arranged in spiral form. Now vegetative reproduction is through fragmentation and budding. Sexual, as I already told you, the same thing, children. Only remember it is oogamous, because only the sperms are moving. The egg was right hand side, which I already shown you the life cycle. Okay, so example is Funaria, Polytrichum, and Sphagnum. So these are the example for your particular mosses. Okay, and sporophyte here is very much prominent compared to liverworts. Liverworts aginta in the mosses, the sporophytes are very much dominant. Children, remember this particular thing: horizontal, vertical. Okay, so mosses don't have gemma. It is only your liverworts which has gemma, and Funaria, Polytrichum, and Sphagnum are the examples. Okay, moving on to the next one. See, this is how it looks like, your Funaria. This is your gametophyte, and this is your sporophytes. I think you can very clearly see the sporophyte here. Moving on to the next one, the example is Polytrichum. Okay, this is also your particular Polytrichum. Sphagnum, it is called as your peat moss. Andre, if you want to transfer any of the living material, museum or any laboratory specimens, so they need to keep it in the moist conditions. Okay, so that time they use this as a particular peat moss because they absorb a moisture a lot. Importance of bryophytes, they play a role in a particular bare rocks and the soil succession, mean to say weathering, okay, soil formation. And they're herbaceous mammal and birds, they provide it as a particular food. As I told you, they provide it as a peat moss, which is used as a fuel, and also for the moisture condition holding capacity. So water holding capacity, hence it is also used in the material for the living material, packing material. Peat moss is used as a fuel, and is also it has a particular water holding capacity, hence it is used in the packing of the materials, and it is helps in your weathering. That is what I already told you in the first point. Okay, see, this is your particular peat moss, dried one, which is used. Pteridophyte is the next particular thing, children. Coming to your pteridophytes, these are the first terrestrial plant to possess vascular tissues. The first invading into the land was what? Bryophyte. The first which is having a vascular tissues are called as your pteridophytes. since they are having the first vascular tissue form, they are also called as tracheophytes. Now, what is the vascular tissue, xylem and phloem? You already know. Next one, they also require damp places, but they can stay in your particular dry areas also, but they do require particular water for the reproduction. So they usually place cool and sandy soil will be usually present. Now, the main plant body is diploid sporophyte, okay, and differentiated into roots, stem and leaves. Illivargu roots irlilla. So from pteridophytes you started seeing the particular roots. Next one, leaves are of two types. Small is called as microphylls and the large one is called as macrophylls. Small one will be like this and the larger one will be like this. I'll show you the diagram, don't worry. Okay, so the leaves are of two types. If at all, if it is small, what do you call it as? Microphylls. If at all, if it is large, what do you call it as? Macrophylls. Fills andre, the leaves and okay, they have a particular presence of a cones or a strobili. Okay, just a minute. So next one. Okay. Now see this, children. See this, children. Can you see this particular thing, children? This is called as your strobili. Am I clear to you? Now, these are the ones which will produce the spores. Am I clear to you? What are these? These are the strobilis, and these are the one which will produce as the particular spores. Am I clear to you? Now, this is how it looks like. Frontal, backal, you will have all these present. Am I clear to you? Now look over here. These are your microphylls. See, they are small. And these are your macrophylls. Ma'am, how do we know that whether it is microphyll or a macrophyll? It is simple. Look at the diameter of the stem. Okay, if the leaf particularly very comparatively smaller than your particular diameter of the stem, then it will called as a microphylls, or else it can be equal. Macrophylls means, or megaphylls means, they'll be usually larger compared to your particular stem. Am I clear to you? So this is about your particular thing. So this is what I was speaking over there. So the spores are produced in a sori. So the spores germinate and give rise to what? Photosynthetic gametophyte called as prothallus. Okay. Next one. Sporophyte can be homosporous or heterosporous. When I say homosporous, they'll be equal in size. Heterosporous, they will be larger in size. Okay. Next one. Gametophyte bears a male sex organ called antheridia. Female is called as your archegonia. Of course, when they fuse, what will be formed? Zygote. Zygote will give rise to sporophyte. Same thing, children. For everything, you will say the same thing. Only thing is that the life cycle will differ, which I'll show you a little later. But remember, gametophyte is haploid. Gametophyte will produce sperms and a particular egg, okay, which is haploid and haploid. So they give rise to a diploid sporophyte. So the sporophyte spores, they will undergo what? Reduction division, which will give rise to your spores, which is haploid, which will give rise to your gametophyte. This cycle is almost common to everything. So remember this particular thing, which is very important. Okay, moving on to the next particular thing. See, children, these are the examples for your pteridophyte, which are ferns. Okay, which I already shown you about this. Okay, see, these are all sori. ಒಂದೊಂದು ಈ ರೀತಿ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡ್ರ. See, like this it will be seen. So these are all your sori which will produce spores. Now, look at this particular thing. So you have a sori present. Now listen up. When the sori produces the spores, okay, the spores will germinate. When they germinate, they give rise to a structure called as your prothallus. What it will give rise to? A structure called as prothallus. Am I clear to you? Now, what is the structure of a prothallus? See, children, in the structure of the prothallus, can you see over here? This is your archegonium. These are all your archegonium present, and here you will have your particular antherozoids. This is your male and this is your female. Okay, so right over here you will have a rooty like a structure, or the roots like a structure arising called as your rhizoids. Okay, sweethearts. So these are your strobili. Strobili will give rise to the spores. Spores will give or germinate to form your prothallus. They'll ask you, prothallus is usually formed in which particular thing? Pteridophyte. Protonema is formed in which thing? Bryophyte. So remember, everything is pro only, but it differs. Prothallus means pteridophytes. Protonema means your particular bryophytes. Importance, it acts as a soil binders. Why? The importance of the soil binders is it prevents soil erosion. Okay, it is used as a medicines, biofertilizers. Salatinella is used as an ornamental plant, mean to say in manal show plant ado ido itkom kutkombol. Am I clear to you? So these are the importance of what makla pteridophytes. Now moving on to the classification, children see over here: Psilopsida, Lycopsida, Spinopsida, Pteropsida. Psilopsida, example is Psilotum. Lycopsida, Lycopodium. See, the name itself starts from the particular class. Okay. Now, coming to your Spinopsida, example is your Equisitum. Pteropsida, it is your Teres. One diagram nodudalvendro, that's nothing but your Teres. Okay. And this is your Dryopteris is also another example. I'm sure you would have seen it in your particular laboratories. Okay, Dryopteris. So, Psilopsida, Psilotum, Lycopsida, Lycopodium, Spinopsida, Equisitum, Pteropsida is your Teres and your Dryopteris. Okay, now moving on to the next one. Gymnosperms. Okay, moving on to the next one is what, children? Gymnosperms. Now, children, they are vascular plants, no doubt, but they are naked seeded plants. Okay, and they are also called as naked seeded. Why? Because the ovule is not enclosed by ovary. So the question can be asked: what do the gymnosperms usually lack? They lack something called as your ovary. The ovary will not be present. Why? After fertilization, ovule will develop into seed, ovary will develop into fruit. Yes or no, children? So if this is a seed, the seed is completely covered by what, Makla? It will be completely covered by the fruit. But gymnosperms will not have the fruit present. It will have only the seed present. Why? They don't have the ovary present. Okay, so that's why they are called as a naked seeded plants. Moving on to the next one. The body is a sporophyte having roots, stem and the leaves. Generally, they have a taproot system. Here, this is important. Symbiotic association with cyanobacteria fixes the atmospheric nitrogen, and it is called, usually whenever your gymnosperms is associated with cyanobacteria, okay, we call those roots as a coralloid roots. Example is your cycas. Now, if gymnosperms is associated with fungi, now we call it as a mycorrhiza. Example is Pinus. Lichen andre enu algae with fungi. Okay, when I say cyanobacteria andre enu makle, gymnosperms root is associated with what, makle? Is associated with your cyanobacteria. So that we usually call it as a coralloid roots. Okay, when it is associated with fungi, okay, then we call it as mycorrhiza. Gymnosperms with fungi. Aita makle? Example is Endra Pinus. See, so this is your coralloid root. See, you can see the nodule kind of a structure. Enlarge agirutte. So this is your coralloid roots. So this is mycorrhiza. Makla, if this is with the mycorrhiza, this is without the mycorrhiza. Okay. So with the mycorrhiza, you'll have lots of particular plants growing. But without it, you don't find so much. Why? The nutrients here absorbed will be more. Additional support marta ide. Am I clear to you? But here there is nothing like that. So your plant will also grow very, very less. Okay. So that's your coralloid root. This is your mycorrhiza. See, these are the one. You know it parkal hakirtaralla makla. Okay. So this is your cones. This is your female one which is present here. Even down also you will have. Okay. So this is your male cone and this is your female cones. Okay. So these are called as your reproductive structures in the particular gymnosperms. And look at the leaves right now. What is it? They are usually needle-like and they'll always be evergreen. So these kind of a particular leaves will, withhold the particular extreme temperature. ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ winter irbodu, or you have lots of hot temperatures, these leaves can withstand all those things. Okay, see, these are the ones, female cones. These are your female cones. These are nothing but your ovules, and the leafy like a structure, these are called as your macrophylls. Okay, see, these are all your macrophylls, the female structure it is. Okay, megasporophylls antanu karitivi, not an issue. See, here they have written macrosporophylls. You will also call it as your megasporophylls. Okay, now if at all you look at the particular leaf, they are usually simple pinnately compound leaf withstand an extreme temperature. In coniferous leaves, they are usually needle-like. Okay, the leaves are evergreen. Gymnosperms are heterosporous. Heterosporous andre en makle? They produce two type of the particular spores, and they are usually microspore and megaspore. Microspores are produced in microsporangia, microsporophyll, and megaspores are produced in megasporangia, bone on your megasporophyll. Ma'am, ಏನು ಹಿಂಗಂದ್ರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರೋ, you will have a leafy kind of a structure. Okay, now this is called as your megasporophyll. Idenidu sporophyll. Am I clear to you? This is nothing but your sporophyll. Now sporophyll will have a rounded like a structure. Now this is called as sporangia. Okay, now inside the sporangia you will have a spores. These are called as your microspores. That is what it is telling you. See, microspores are produced where? In microsporangia. No doubt. Microsporangia, where is microsporangia? They're bone microsporophyll. That is your this one. So microsporophyll will have microsporangia. Inside the microsporangia, you will have your microspores. Same thing with your megaspores. Megaspores are produced in where? Megasporangia. Megasporangia are produced on your megasporophyll. Okay, depending. Mega antana puskaldra. So female cone. Okay, so megaspores, female cone, microspores, male cone. Moving on to the next one. Ovule is protected by integuments. Pollen grain are released and carried by air currents. This is very important. When I say they are carried by air currents, children, that means to say these pollen grains will have something like a wing, like a structures. So they will be carried through the kilometers. So they can go and move to some places and they can actually grow over there. Am I clear to you? So these are the particular children, the important points of your particular gymnosperms. Moving on to the next one. See, this is what I told you, sweethearts. Wings. So they can be carried in the particular air. Moving on to the next particular thing. Angiosperms. Okay. Now coming to your angiosperms, the last one. Angiosperms are the flowering plants. As you all know, the reproductive structure. We call it as the angiosperms. Why? Because there's some beautiful structure called as a flower over there. So, since they are the flowering plants, okay, they are called as your angiosperms. Now, the pollen grains and ovules are developed in a specialized structures called as a flowers. Of course, and your pollen grains are produced by what? Your anther, and ovules are present inside your female gametophyte. Okay. Now, the seeds are enclosed in what? They are enclosed in fruits. Unlike your gymnosperms. Gymnosperms they did not have particular ovary. Okay, na? Hence they were called as naked seeded fruit, naked seeded plants. Whereas your angiosperms, they have ovary. Okay, hence the seed is covered by what makla? They are covered by the fruit. Okay, now angiosperms are of exceptionally large group of plants. Mean to say what? Now children, you have a small kutti particular plant also, like a tiny plant. Example is your Ulphia. Okay, and the tall tree is nothing but eucalyptus in angiosperms. Okay, I repeat again, in angiosperms. Next one, you know the example for the economic importance of angiosperms, like food, fodder, medicines. For several other things, we use your angiosperms. Now, children, they are divided into two classes. One is your dicotyledonous, other one is your monocotyledonous. When I say dicotyledonous, they have two cotyledons present. What do they have? Two cotyledons present in their seeds. I'm sure you would have already studied in the chapter called as sexual reproduction in flowering plants, where you would have seen the particular seed over there. Yes or no? Chenna, if at all you take all those things, you will see two cotyledons in that. Like this. Yes or no? Okay. Now, whereas in the monocotyledon, a beautiful example, what we had already studied, we had already studied about your maize. Do you remember? Okay. So, in the maize, what is it? It is just a single cotyledon. So, if you have two cotyledons, you call it as dicotyledons. If you have single cotyledon, you call it as your monocotyledons. Okay, Moving on to the next particular thing. See, this is what I wanted to see. The single thing is Ulphia. Like that, you have so many things attached over here. Okay, so this is your Ulphia, and of course, you would have seen eucalyptus plant. Eucalyptus alla kade nodidirtira, Nilgiri mara. Okay, na? So eucalyptus and your particular Ulphia are the particular exceptional examples. You have many examples. These are the exceptional ones. Moving on to the next one. Now, coming to the reproduction. Okay, now coming to the reproduction, let's see over here. The male sex organ in a flower of a particular present in your stamen. Mean to say, the male sex organ, antheridium. Okay, so antheridium is usually present where, in the particular flower. So which whorl is it? It is usually your, see, first whorl is your particular sepal, second whorl is your particular corolla, next one is your particular andrecium. So your anther and a filament together forms together forms your stamen. What do they form? They form something called as your stamen. Now each stamen consists of what? As I already told you, they contain, see, I'll write over here, they contain the filament and they contain a particular anther. See, anther can be of different types. If at all, if it has only one lobe, we call it as monothecous. If at all, if it has two lobes, we call it dithecous. Okay, moving on to the next one. Female sex organ, we usually call it as a pistil, and the carpel, it's the innermost whorl of the flower, and the fourth whorl of the flower. Okay, now pistil consists of what? Ovary enclosing one or too many ovules. Okay, it can be one ovule or it can be many ovule. Now within the ovules there are present highly reduced female gametophyte termed as embryo sac. I'm sure you'd have already written this beautiful diagram. Okay, so you have your embryo sacs present, yes or no, children, where you will have your particular egg apparatus, you will have your particular synergids. In the center you will have your particular polar nuclei. If it fuses, it will form a secondary endosperm. Okay, now embryo sac formation is preceded by meiosis. Okay, now hence each of the embryo sac is haploid cells. Mean to say, they'll ask you, already, what is the arrangement? They'll ask you 3 plus, here you will have 2, no? So 3 plus 2 plus 3. So each one is haploid. This is the arrangement. Remember this, okay? So 3 plus 2 plus 3 is the arrangement, and each one is what? Haploid. I'll teach you in the next one. See, first I'll speak about this. Okay, see, this is how your anther produce pollen grains which will fall onto this. Okay, so I'll just write it over here. Now see, children, whatever I'm writing is nothing but your gynoecium. Your gynoecium, what will fall? Pollen grain will fall. Okay, when pollen grain falls onto the stigma will give certain particular nutrients for who? For the pollen grain. And I'm sure you know already what are the nutrients. What is it? Your calcium, boron, inositol complex. Okay, na? This is the particular nutrient provided by stigma to what, sweethearts? To the pollen grain. What are those? Calcium, boron, inositol complex is a particular food given to the pollen grain. So when this sweetheart pollen grain receives the insufficient nutrient, what will happen? The particular pollen tube will be going. Okay, now pollen tube grows, and of course you have a embryo sac over here. Question can be asked, what is it? How come the particular pollen tube grows only like this and why not somewhere like that? Because your embryo sac is producing certain chemicals. Okay, so chemicals produce raw, especially your synergids. Okay, so the female neck cells antanu kariti ondansali. So these things will be producing your chemicals. This pollen tube will be attracted towards that chemicals. Hence, it is also called as chemotaxis. Am I clear to you? And once it comes and reaches over here, one of the male gamete will fuses with the egg to form what, to form zygote. Another male will fuse with your particular polar nuclei or else your secondary nucleus to form what? Pen. That is your primary endosperm nucleus. So now polar nucleus provided to be haploid, this will be provided to be diploid. So together they form your triploid. Am I clear to you? So this is the structures. What happens in your double fertilization. Okay, I think I have told you overall with the thing, but still we'll just see each one of it. Nodid tashna bhaya vidubadi ide hinge madavare madam anta. Okay na? So see, each embryo sac has 3-celled egg apparatus, 1 egg cell and 2 synergids. Yes or no? That is what I told you over here. Yes or no, makla? Here you will have what? Egg apparatus, 2 synergids and 1 egg you will have. Okay, so here what you will have? Particularly your antipodals. Okay, makla? And of course, in the center you will have what? 2 polar nuclei. Now, polar nuclei eventually fuse to produce what? Secondary nucleus. So haploid and haploid will fuse together to form what, makle? Diploid secondary nucellus. Now Pollen grains, after dispersal, the anthers are carried by the wind and various others and reaches where? To the stigma. Now this is termed as pollination, a simple thing. Okay. Now pollen grain germinates on the stigma. Adane nimge helid nanu. Pollen grains will be there, which is fallen onto the stigma and they germinate. Okay. Next one, what makle? Resulting in a pollen tube grows through the tissues of stigma. Keltare kandra. See, if this is your, wait a second, sweethearts. If this is your particular stigma, pollen grain is there and they'll produce a tube. Actually, your stigma is there. No, that is not hollow. Hollow andre enu ma'am, pipe tara iralla. Okay na? It will be completely filled with the tissues. So it has to pierce through and come. Of course, your pollen tube will produce enzymes which will degrade these tissues. Okay, pectinase enzymes are produced madutte. So yenagutte, all the cells will degrade so that allowing the pollen tube to grow. Now, what are these tissues called as? Present in your particular stigma. Those are called as your stellar tissues. Okay, the style whichever has a tissues is called as your stellar tissues. Am I clear to you? We're moving on to the next one. See here, the pollen triggers the embryo sac where two male gametes are discharged. One male gamete ಯಾವ್ದ್ರ ಜೊತೆ fuse ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? Egg cell to form zygote. This process you call it as a syngamy. Okay. Now the other male gamete fuses with what makle? Diploid secondary nucellus to form what makle? To form a triploid primary endosperm nucellus or not nucellus, nucleus. Okay. So this is being triploid. Okay, zygote being diploid and your secondary nucellus being your diploid. Okay, now because of the involvement of two fusions, okay, this event is termed as your double fertilization. Now what do you mean by double fertilization? There are two fusions. Andre one male gamete is fusing with your particular egg, another male gamete is fusing with your particular secondary nucellus. So it is called as your particularly double fertilization. And of course you already have learned it is also called as triple fusion. Why? We see those three triple fusion forming, yes or no? So hence it is also called as your triple fusions. Now children, coming back to the next particular point, children, what is it? The zygote develops into embryo. Okay, so after that embryo, one or two cotyledons, mean to say the embryo will develop into a particular seed. Okay, then the pen, okay, the pen develops into endosperm which propagates the developing embryo. Il tale itkomeku makle enado. The endosperm found over here in angiosperm is always triploid, whereas in gymnosperms, it is always haploid. Here in gymnosperms, it is before fertilization, but this is post fertilization event. This is what? Pre-fertilization. This is post fertilization. Innonsala helತೀನಿ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. In angiosperms, okay, endosperm whatever is formed, the pen whichever is formed, the endosperm, the pen will develop into what? Endosperm. Okay, so the endosperm is after fertilization, mean to say the post fertilization, whereas in the gymnosperms the endosperm is haploid and it is pre-fertilization. Now the synergids, antipodals degenerate fertilization. Okay, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್? ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದೆಲ್ಲದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಡಿಜೆನರೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ. Okay, during these events ovules develop into seed and ovaries develop into fruit. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಏನ್ರ? So the ovules and your calyx ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ, your calyx, corolla, all those things will fall up except in one of the family, Solanaceae. Okay, except in the family Solanaceae. The Solanaceae, the characteristic is it has a persistent calyx. Okay, except in that ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದ ಎಲ್ಲದರಲ್ಲೂ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? It will fall off or wither off. Okay na makla? Moving on to the next particular thing, the life cycle. Haplontic, diplontic, haplodiplontic. Now children, haplontic means what? See here, gametophyte will have a larger life cycle over here. Okay, compared to your sporophyte. Sporophyte will life cycle will be very, very small. Whereas in the diplontic, it is your sporophyte will have a larger life cycle compared to your particular gametophyte. Now moving on to the haplodiplontic, it is very much equal. Sporophyte is also equal, gametophyte is also equal. It depends upon your life cycle. Okay, in haplontic, gametophyte is more, diplontic, sporophyte is more, haplodiplontic, they are equal. Now what I want you to remember is this one, very important. Haplontic example keltare makle, many algae like volvox, spirogyra and chlamydomonas. So your particular haplontic usually seen in where makle? In your particular algae. Am I clear to you? Now, there are no free living sporophyte. That means to say what? They depend upon the gametophyte. Okay, and the dominant phase and the free living is your gametophyte, that is your haploid. Mean to say, see, the gametophyte is particularly independent because they are photosynthetic and their life cycle is being larger, whereas for the sporophyte, it is being smaller. Am I clear to you? Example in raw algae. I want you to remember this. Am I clear to you? Don't forget about that. Moving on to the next particular thing. Diplontic life cycle. Makla, whenever we speak about the diplontic life cycle, diploid sporophyte is dominant, photosynthetic and independent. Am I clear to you? So, in the diplontic, sporophyte is dominant, photosynthetic and independent. Amele innon talel itkole. Only in this particular haplontic, only in this gametophyte is dominant. Rest all sporophyte is dominant. So keep that easy. That's the easy way of remembering. Okay. Next one. Example is your gymnosperms, angiosperms, and some algae called as fucus. Am I clear to you? Most of the algae they are usually haplontic. Some exception cases are there. Okay, what is that? What is that? In the diplontic life cycle, usually it is gymno and angiosperms, except one algae called as your fucus. In haplodiplontic, it is bryophyte and pteridophyte. Again, some of the alga exceptions are ectocarpus and polysiphonia. Okay, na makle? Here, what was it? Here it was fucus. Am I clear to you? Whereas here, what is it, makle? It is nothing but your ectocarpus and polysiphonia. The main example, of course, it is bryophyte and your pteridophyte. So this is about the particular life cycle. Now moving back to the next particular thing. Starting off with the CET, okay, the first one, the MCQs. The gymnospermic endosperm differs from an angiospermic endosperm because in gymnosperms it is. Can you tell me the option? Option A, option B, option C, option D. Endro answer gymnosperm endosperm eno, angiosperm endosperm eno. What is the option? Gymnosperm endosperm haploid diploid ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Okay. Now the answer for gymnospermic endosperm is usually, children, the gymnosperm endosperm is what? It is usually haploid and developed from what? Female gametophyte. So option is your A. Am I clear to you? Yen makle? Option is A. It is gymnosperm endosperm haploid diploid ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Okay. Now the answer for gymnospermic endosperm is usually, children, the gymnosperm endosperm is what? It is usually haploid and developed from what? Female gametophyte. So option is your A. Am I clear to you? Yen makle? Option is A. It is never a diploid. Diploid agirak chance illa, and definitely it is not after fertilization. It is before fertilization. Okay. Moving on to the next question. Gymnosperms are referred as naked seeded plants because they are referred as naked seeded plant. Excellent, makle. The option is particularly they lack what? They lack particularly the ovaries. What do they lack, children? They lack usually the ovaries. Okay, na makle? They lack ovaries. Hence, the gymnosperms are referred as naked seeded plants. Next one. In pteridophyte, a spore germinates to produce. ನೀಟಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ರ. Spore germinates for what? The option is nothing but your prothallus. ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೇನ್ರ ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ. The spores is there. The spores will produce what ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ? Prothallus structure like this. I also told you in bryophytes it's protonema. In pteridophyte it is prothallus. Next one. If the diploid number of flowering plant is 36, what would be the chromosome number in its endosperm? ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು. Okay, now the question what they have asked, the diploid number 2n. 2n is how much makle? 36 alvendro makle. So what are they asking now? They are asking the chromosome number of endosperm. Endosperm do ploidy level in makle 3n. So cross multiply. And now tell me the answer. Very good makle. So the option is 54. Okay, so you cross multiply, you will get the answer. Okay makle, moving on to the next question. Match the following column 1 with column 2 and tell me the answer. Good Reshma, Samprita, Swati, good makle, paragilla kandra, chanang ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ makle. Okay, so the option is makle A. Okay, so your artificial system is Linnaeus, your natural system Bentham and Hooker, phylogenetic is your Engler and Prandtl. Moving on to the next question. At least a half of the total carbon dioxide on the earth is usually fixed by Eldro makle. Excellent Umarani, Reshma, Vikas, Swati, Srishti, Jyoti, very good Kandra, Gauri, Shivraj. Okay, so the option is in makle algae. Okay, so that's as the total carbon dioxide concentration. Very good sweethearts. Moving on to the next question. The algae shown in the following figure, Eldra. I'll give you one more example if at all you get confusion. This is your Chlamydomonas, okay na? This is your Volvox and this is your Cara. All of them belongs to what, darlings? All of them belongs to what? And depending on that, tell me the answer. Excellent Swapna, Yogita, Tejas, Akshita, again Jyoti. Good makle. Okay, so the option Indra, the option is chlorophyll C. Moving on to the next question. Agar agar is commercially obtained by which alga? Jyoti, I think you're answering nice, yeah? Tej is also, Umesha, Sejal, good makle. The option is the red algae. Very good. Okay, Nindra. So agar agar is obtained by your red algae. Next one. The first land inhibiting plants. Helide nanu. The first land yadu, the pteridophytes andre first vascular. First land bandide yadu. Excellent Kirti, Madan, Afrin, Chinnu, Swapna, super makle, sakkatag ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಕಣ್ರ, ಸೂಪರ್ ಕಣ್ರ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಏನು ಮಕ್ಳೆ? ಬ್ರಯೋಫೈಟ್ಸ್. ಖುಷಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಮಕ್ಳೆ, ನಂಗೆ ಖುಷಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಕಣ್ರ, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಏನ್ರ ಮಕ್ಳೆ? ಬ್ರಯೋಫೈಟ್ಸ್. ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್, ಎಕ್ಸಲೆಂಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ಟು ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್. ಜೆಮ್ಮೆ ಆರ್ asexual reproductive bodies. ಯಾವ್ದಲ್ರ? ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ. ಬ್ರಯೋಫೈಟ್ಸ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟು. ಬ್ರಯೋಫೈಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಸಸ್ ಲಿವರ್ವರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿ. ಯೋಗಿತಾ, ರೇಷ್ಮಾ, ಗುಡ್ ಕಣ್ರೋ. ಶ್ರುತಿ ಲಗ್ಗೆರೆಯಿಂದಾನೆ ನಮ್ಮ ನೀನು, ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಚೈತ್ರ, ಸಂಪ್ರೀತ, ಓ ಮದನು, ಯೋಗೇಶ್ವರಿ, ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಕಣ್ರೋ ಮಕ್ಳೇ, ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಕಣ್ರೋ, ಸೂಪರ್. ಅರವಿಂದು, ಮೇಘನಾ, ಸಿ ಸಿ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲಮ್ಮ, ಏನಮ್ಮ ಹಂಗಂದ್ರೆ? ಓಕೆ, ಫೈನ್, ಗುಡ್ ಮಕ್ಳೇ, ಎಕ್ಸಲೆಂಟ್, ದಟ್ಸ್ ಯೋರ್ ಲಿವರ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ದ 10th one option is your C. Moving on to the next question. The spread of living pteridophytes is limited and is restricted to narrow geographical regions because ಯಾಕರೋ ನೀವು ಕೆಲವೊಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಟೆರಿಡೋಫೈಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ಸಿ ದಮ್ ಇನ್ ಎನಿ ಅದರ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ? ಗುಡ್ ಪ್ರತೀಕ್ಷಾ, ಉಮಾರಾಣಿ, ಸಂಪ್ರೀತ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡೋ, ಗೌತಮಿ, ಜ್ಯೋತಿ, ಸೂಪರ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಆರೆಂಜ್ ಡಿ 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 ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ಯಾ, ಡಿ ಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ ನೀವು ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡಲ್ಲಿ? ಹಾ, ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಕಣ್ರೋ, ಸಕ್ಕತ್ತಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಕಣ್ರೋ. ಪೂಜಾ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಪ್ಪ. ಜಿ ಅಂತ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಎಷ್ಟು ನೆಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೂಪರ್ ಮಕ್ಳೇ. ಸೊ ದ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಬೋತ್ ಎ ಅಂಡ್ ಬಿ. ಓಕೆನಾ ಮಕ್ಳೇ? ಸೊ ಏನು ಆನ್ಸರು? ಬೋತ್ ಎ ಅಂಡ್ ಬಿ. Why? That is, they need cool damp areas, and why they require it? For the sweetheart fertilization. Artha aitendra? Moving on to the next question. What is it? Which of the following botanical name is correctly matched? Just take a random guess. Madam, ಇಂಥ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೇಡಿ, ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿ, ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಯೋಗಿತಾ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಡಿ. ಹ್ಞೂ ಕಣಮ್ಮ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾ. ಶಿವರಾಜು, ಸಾಗರು, ಅಕ್ಷಿತಾ ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತು ಕಣ. ನಿತ್ಯ, ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಕಣ್ರೋ, ಸೂಪರ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಮಕ್ಳೇ. 12B ಯಾರೋ ಇದು? ಪರಶುರಾಮ್. ಓಕೆ ಕಣ, ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಮಕ್ಳೇ, ಸೂಪರ್. ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಟೋರಿಯಸ್ ಅಂತೆ ಗೂಬೆ, ಹೆಸರು ನೆಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಬರೆಯಲ್ಲ. ಏನೋ ಇದು? ಹೆಸ್ರು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳೋದು ಬೇಡವೇನೋ ನಾನು? ಹೆಸರಾದ್ರೂ ಬರೀ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮು. ಏನಿನ್ ಹೆಸರು ಅಂತ ಕಂದ? ಎಕ್ಸಲೆಂಟ್ ಮಾ, ಡಿ ಡಿ, ಸೂಪರ್ ಕಣ್ರೋ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಡ್ರಯಾಪ್ಟೆರಿಸ್ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ? ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ವುಡ್ ಫರ್ನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ವಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಫರ್ನ್ ಇಸ್ ಯೂಶಲಿ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಯೋರ್ ಅಡಿಯಾಂಟಮ್. Am I clear to you? Of course, maiden hair and walking fern ಎರಡು ಹೆಸರು ಯಾವ್ದ್ರದ್ದು? ಅಡಿಯಾಂಟಮ್ದು. ಡ್ರಯಾಪ್ಟೆರಿಸ್ we usually call it as a wood fern ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆನಾ? Moving on to the next one. Coralloid roots ಹೇಳ್ರೋ, ಇದಾದ್ರೂ ಹೇಳಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ. ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೇ ಇದನ್ನ ಬರ್ದು ಬೇರೆ ಹಾಕ್ದೆ ನಾನು. Coralloid roots. HS ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾ. ಮಲ್ಲಿಕಾರ್ಜುನ್, ಗೌರಿಶ್ರೀ, ಮದನ್, ಸೂಪರ್ ಕಣ್ರೋ, ಎಲ್ರು ಬರ್ದಿದ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ರೋ. ಸಂಪ್ರೀತ ಒಂದು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ಮ. ಶಿವರಾಜ್, ಸಿ ಸಿ ಆಯ್ತಪ್ಪ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕಣ್ರೋ. ತೇಜಸ್ ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಕಲ್ಪನಾ ಆಯ್ತಮ್ಮ, ಕಲ್ಪನಾ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೂಪರ್ ಕಣ್ರೋ ಮಕ್ಳೇ. ಓಕೆ, ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಯೋರ್ ಸಿ. ಖುಷಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಕಣ್ರೋ, ಸೂಪರ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ಟು ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. In angiosperms, functional megaspore develops into. ಮಕ್ಳೇ, ಇದು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಓದಿ ಬೇಜಾರಾಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀರಾ ನೀವು. ರೀಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಇನ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ರೀಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಇನ್ ಫ್ಲವರಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್. ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿ. ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಮಕ್ಳೇ. ಮಂಜುನಾಥ್, ರೋ ಬೇರೆ ಐತಪ್ಪ. ಸಾನಾ ಆಯ್ತಮ್ಮ. ಶಿವಾನಂದ ಬಿ. ಓಕೆಪ್ಪ, ಆನಂದವಾಗಿರೋ. ಓಕೆ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕಣೋ ಯೋಗಿತಾ. ಜ್ಯೋತಿ ತಪ್ಪಾಗೋಯ್ತಪ್ಪ. ಸವೀನು, ಅರವಿಂದ್ ತಪ್ಪು ಕಣ್ರೋ. 14th one A. ಓಕೆ ಕಣೋ ಅಕ್ಷತಾ. ಚಿನ್ನು ಸಿ. ಚಿನ್ನು, ನಿನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಸಿ ಅನ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸಿ ನಾ ಬರೆಯೋದು. ಕಲ್ಪನಾ ಏನಮ್ಮ ಇದು? ಓ ಬಿ, ಹಂಗ್ ಬರೀತಿದ್ಯಾ ಆನ್ಸರು? ಓಕೆ. ಸುಚಿತ್ರ, ಮೇಘನಾ ಸಿ. ಓಕೆ ಮಾ. ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ನೋಡಮ್ಮ, ಅಂತ ಬರ್ದವನು ನಿಂತೋನಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಓಲಿ ಬಿಡಪ್ಪ, ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸಲೆಂಟ್ ಮಕ್ಳೇ, ತುಂಬಾ ಖುಷಿ ಆಯ್ತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸಕ್ಕದಾಗಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ ಸ್ಯಾಕ್. ಓಕೆ, ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ಟು ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕಂಡ್ರು. ಅಪ್ಲಾಂಟಿಕ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಜನರಲಿ ಅಕರ್ಸ್ ಇನ್. ಹೇಳ್ರೋ, ಬರ್ಸಿ ಇದ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ನಾನು. ಅದು ಹೇಳ್ದೆ, ಆಲ್ಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಒಂದು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಟೆರಿಡೋಫೈಟ್ಸ್, ಬ್ರಯೋಫೈಟ್ಸ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂತ. ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಮಕ್ಳೇ. ತಪ್ಪಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಕಣ್ರೋ, ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ. ಅದನ್ನೇ ಬರ್ಸಿದ್ ನಾನು. ಸಖತ್ತಾಗಿ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೆ ಕಣೋ, ನಟೋರಿಯಸ್ಸು. ದಿವ್ಯಾ ಸೂಪರ್ ಮಾ. ಪೃಥ್ವಿ ಸಖತ್ ಕಣೋ. ಹರ್ಷಿತಾ ಬಿ ಅಥವಾ ಎ? ನನಗೆ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ಯಮ್ಮ, ಹೋಗ್ಲಿ ಬಿಡಮ್ಮ. ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಎ ಗುಡ್ ಕಣೋ. ಸಂಪ್ರೀತಾ, ಶಿವರಾಜ್, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಮಕ್ಳೇ. ಓಕೆ ಕಣ್ರೋ, ಸೂಪರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಆಲ್ಗೆ ಇಸ್ ದ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಅಪ್ಲಾಂಟಿಕ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸೈಕಲ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪ್ಲೋಡಿಪ್ಲಾಂಟಿಕ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಯಾವುದು? ಹ್ಯಾಪ್ಲೋಡಿಪ್ಲಾಂಟಿಕ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ನೀಟಾಗಿ ನೋಡಿ. ಜಿ ಡಿ 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 ಆಯ್ತು ಕಣ. ಸಂಪ್ರೀತಾ, ಪ್ರಜ್ವಲ್, ಶಿವರಾಜು ಏನ್ ಎಲ್ರು ಡಿ ಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಮಕ್ಳೇ? ಡಿ 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 ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ. ಇವ್ರು ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ನ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತೀನಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ನಾನು, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಲಿ ಅಂದಂಗೆ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಆಯ್ತು ಕಣ, ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಕ್ಸಲೆಂಟ್ ಮಕ್ಳೇ, ಎಕ್ಸಲೆಂಟ್ ಕಣ. ಓಕೆನಾ, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದೀರಾ ಮಕ್ಳೇ. ಗುಡ್, ಎಕ್ಸಲೆಂಟ್. ಎವ್ರಿ ಒನ್ಸ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. Okay, both A and B. That's your bryophytes and pteridophytes. Okay. Next, a typical embryo sac. ಹೇಳಿ ತಲೆ ತಿಂದು ಬರ್ಸೋರಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ನ. ಹೇಳ್ರೋ, ಇದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವಮಾನ ಕಣ್ರೋ CET ಹೋಗೋದಿಕ್ಕೆ. ಗುಡ್ ಕಣೋ ಮಂಜುನಾಥ, ಸೂಪರ್ ಕಣೋ. ಸಿ ಯಾರದು? ಹಿರೇಗೌಡ್ರು. ಗೌಡ್ರು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೀರಮ್ಮ? ಗೌರೀಶ್, ಇವ್ ನೋಡಿ ಜಿ ಅವಲಿನ ಡಿ ಡಿ ಅಂತವನು ಇವನು. ಲೋ ಸೂಪರ್ ಮಕ್ಳೇ, ಸಖತ್ತಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಖುಷಿ ಆಯ್ತು. ಓಕೆ, ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಮಕ್ಳೇ? 7 celled 8 nucleate. Very good, very good. Now moving on to the next question. In double fertilization, one male gamete fuses with dash to form zygote, and other male gamete fuses with dash to form primary endosperm nucleus. ಹೇಳ್ರೋ, ಯಾವ್ದ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್? ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಗಿವ್ ಅಸ್ ಯೋರ್ ನಂಬರ್? ಶ್ರುತಿ, ಹಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹೆಂಗಮ್ಮ, ಹಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ಕೊಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲಮ್ಮ ಹಂಗೆಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಏನ್ರೋ? ಸಿ. ಮೇಘನಾ ಸಿ. ನೀಟಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ರೋ ಯಾವ್ದು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ. ಒನ್ ಮೇಲ್ ಗೆಮಿಟ್ ಫ್ಯೂಸಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಡ್ಯಾಶ್ ಟು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಝೈಗೋಟ್. ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನಪ್ಪ? ಮೇಲ್ ಫ್ಯೂಸಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಡ್ಯಾಶ್ ಟು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್. ಗಿವ್ ಮೀ ನಂಬರ್. ಓ ಆಯ್ತಮ್ಮ ನಿಸರ್ಗ, ಇವಾಗ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ರೋ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಇನ್ನ ಇದೆ ಕಾಲಗಳು, ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ಕಣ್ರೋ ಇನ್ನ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ಗೆ. ಅದು ನೀವು ಬೈಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ. ಚಿನ್ನು ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ನಂಬರ್ ಕೊಡಿ. ಆಯ್ತಾಯ್ತುಪ್ಪ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಸಿ, ಎಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್. ಎಕ್ಸಲೆಂಟ್ ಮಕ್ಳೇ, ಸಕ್ಕತ್ತಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದೀರಾ. ಆಯ್ತಾ ಕಂದಮರಿಗಳ? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ನೋಡ್ರ. ಡಾಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನರಿ. ಹೇಳ್ರೋ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ರೋ ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನರಿ. ಮೇಡಮ್ ನೀವೇ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಲೋ ಪರಶುರಾಮ, ಬಕೆಟ್ ಹಿಡಿಬೇಕಣ್ಣ, ಹಿಂಗ ಈ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇನಲ್ಲೇ. ಓಲಿ ಬಿಡೋ. ಲೋ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಮನವಿ ತೆಗಿಬೇಟಿಕೊಂಡ್ರ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಕಣ, ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಒಂದ್ಸಲಿ, ಅದು ಫುಲ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮುಗ್ದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ. ಇವಾಗ ನೆಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿ. ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್? ಆಪ್ಷನ್. ಅದನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಸಿ ಸೂಪರ್ ಕಣ್ರೋ ಮಕ್ಳೇ. ಫೈಲೋಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್. ಎಕ್ಸಲೆಂಟ್ ಮಕ್ಳೇ, ಎಕ್ಸಲೆಂಟ್ ಕಣ್ರೋ, ಖುಷಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಕಣ್ರೋ ಮಕ್ಳೇ. ಓಕೆನಾ, ನಮ್ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ಟು ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಮಕ್ಳೇ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಆಗಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಲೋ ಪರಶುರಾಮ, ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವೋ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಕಣೋ. ಗವಂಕರ್ ಸೆಜಾಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಕಣ, ಸಾಕು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಕಣ, ಗುಡ್ ಟೀಚಿಂಗ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಪಿಂಕಿ. ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿ ಮಕ್ಳೇ ಫಸ್ಟು. ಎಕ್ಸಲೆಂಟ್ ಕಣ್ರೋ, ಎಕ್ಸಲೆಂಟ್ ಮಕ್ಳೇ, ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಮೇಘನಾ ಗುಡ್ ಕಣ್ರೋ. ಕೀರ್ತಿ ಇವಾಗ ಬಂತಪ್ಪ, ಇವಾಗ ಎದ್ದಪ್ಪ ಕೀರ್ತಿ. ಕಾವ್ಯ ಇವಾಗ ಬಂತಪ್ಪ. ಸ್ವಾತಿ, ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳು ಕಣ್ರು, ಕಲೀರೋ ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳು ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ರಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ನೋಡ್ರಲ್ಲಿ. ರಿಯಾಜ್, ಓಕೆ. ಅರ್ಚನಾ ಗುಡ್. ಓಕೆ ಮಕ್ಳೇ, ಎಕ್ಸಲೆಂಟ್ ಕಣ್ರೋ. ಸ್ಪೋರೋಫೈಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಗೆಮೆಟೋಫೈಟ್. ಏನ್ ಆನ್ಸರು? ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಯೋರ್ ಸ್ಪೋರೋಫೈಟ್, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಯೋರ್ ಗೆಮೆಟೋಫೈಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ಟು ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್. ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿ ಮಕ್ಳೇ. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಬಯಾಲಜಿ ಅವರು. ಸೊ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮಕ್ಳೇ ಬೇಗ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಫ್ರಾ, ಶ್ರುತಿ, ತೇಜಸ್ಸು, ದಿವ್ಯಾ, ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಕ್ಲೀನಾಗಿ ನೋಡಿ ಮಕ್ಳೇ, ಕ್ಲೀನಾಗಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಡಿ. ಅವ್ರು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನೀಟಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಯಾಕೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? CET ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಕಣ್ರೋ. ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ನ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಓದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ ಮಕ್ಳೇ? ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೂ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು ಮಕ್ಳೇ. ನೀಟಾಗಿ ನೋಡಿ. ನಾನು ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ, 2 ಆಗಿ ಈ ತರ ಏನು ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ, ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡಿ ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇಸ್, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಎ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಡಿಕ್ಟಿಯೋಟ ಕಣ್ರೋ. ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಒನ್ ಏನು ಪಾಲಿಸೈಫೋನಿಯಾ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಬುಕ್ ತೆಗಿರಿ, ಬುಕ್ಕೇ ತೆಗಿಯಲ್ಲ ನೀವು, ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಲಾಭ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬುಕ್ನು ಒಂದ್ಸಲಿ ತೆಗೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ಟು ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ 22nd. ನೋಡ್ರೋ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಈ ತರ ಇದೆ, ನೀಟಾಗಿ ನೋಡಿ. ಸಿ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದಿಸ್ ಡಿಸೆಕ್ಷನ್. ನಾನು ಅದು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ, ಅಂಬ್ರಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಯೂಶಲಿ ಅಂಬ್ರಲ್ಲ ಯಾರು ಹಿಡಿತಾರೆ, ಗಂಡ್ಮಕ್ಳು ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಆತರ ನಪ್ಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂಬ್ರಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಹೂವ ತರ ಇದೆ. ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತೆ ಪೂಜಾ. ನೋಡಮ್ಮ NCERT ಇವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಬಹುದು ನೀವು ಬುಕ್ ನ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ದ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಮಕ್ಳೆ ಆರ್ಕಿಗೋನಿಯೋಫೋಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಬಿ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಜೆಮ್ಮಾ ಕಪ್ಸ್. ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಇದೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್? ಸಿ ದ ಆರೋ ಮಾರ್ಕ್. ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಟಚಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್, so that you can see something over here. ಇಲ್ಲೇನೋ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಬಂದಂಗ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಯೋರ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್. ಅರ್ಥ? ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸಿ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೀಟಾಗಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಟಚ್ಡ್ ಓವರ್ ಹಿಯರ್? ನೋ ಮಕ್ಳೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ಯೋರ್ ರೈಸಾಯ್ಡ್ಸ್. ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಟು ಯು? ಓಕೆ ಮಕ್ಳೆ, ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ಓಕೆ ಮಕ್ಳೆ, ಸಿ ಯು ಸ್ವೀಟಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಟೇಕ್ ಕೇರ್, ಟಾಟಾ, ಬೈ ಬೈ, ಟೇಕ್ ಕೇರ್. ನಂಬರ್ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ಕಣ್ರೋ, ಬಂದ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಕಣ್ರೋ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಬರ್ಬಾರ್ದೇನ್ರೋ ನಾವು? ಓಕೆ ಮಕ್ಳೆ, ಸಿ ಯು ಸ್ವೀಟಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್.